For me, it's all about what if we just prepared and were proactive? Like, why do we have to wait until they've encountered the system to say, oh my gosh, let me help you?
This Day of Empathy event has been extremely impactful, very well organized and well rounded, and having true representation from not only the young people that are directly impacted, but family members who are impacted, support systems, community partners, law enforcement, the judicial system, mental health providers, service providers. It really just shows that the people in the community of Dallas is really lockstep and together in supporting change and reform in this city, in this state.
70% of the kids in the system who come to us have mental health issues. 20% of those kids have significant mental health issues. Cafe Momentum is an ecosystem. We have to have partnerships. We have to have collaborations. We have to have those things that connect kids in the community. So our tax dollars can either go to locking them up and we pay for it, or we can have programs where they get jobs and they pay their own taxes.
What advice could you give us?
I feel like just listen to them, because most of them, they don't want to open up to adults and anyone older than them because they feel like they don't really listen. They feel like off back they're being judged, so that hinders them from actually opening up and talking to anyone that could really just help them. So I feel like just take a step back and actually listen to what they have to say and what they're saying and how they feel.
I'm Janaya Scott, and I do work at Keeping Families Connected. And my mom did get wrongly convicted for something she didn't do, and we was on the streets. Well, she trusted us with people she thought she could trust us with, but they didn't help us. We did get put out. We did have to go from home to home. Not no shelters, just regular homes, like people we knew on the streets. We didn't have nobody. We was on the streets for like 2 years, really 2 years, like with nothing.
I want the people to feel like we're just not doing this because I feel sorry for you. I know this is a day of empathy, but no, I love you genuinely with the love of God, and I really care about you. Seeing you, you know how many children we took for Father's Day? We rented 5 or 6 SUVs out of pocket to take, multiple people for Father's Day and Christmas. And we took a little girl that was 11 who never seen her phone. We took a little girl that was 4 years old whose father had his life in prison. Unfortunately for her and him, the only thing they'll ever be able to do is eat from a vending machine in a visiting room at a prison, unless God does something miraculously and he gets out.
So I wanted to honor these ladies to say, we appreciate you all. We see the work that you are doing, and we want you to know that we have your back. Not just, saying, hey, I'm praying for you, but like legitimately, and this is not money that's going to pay off your tuition or anything like that. It's just pocket money to say, we see you and we appreciate you, and continue to do the things that you are doing. I want to let you know that you are a beautiful young lady. I want you to know that you are a smart, intelligent young woman, and the sky is not the limit, your belief is. And I want you to know that once you knock any of those mental barriers down, the doors will fly open for you. Maria Johnson, who's going to be on our second panel, said, hey, we at the Center for Brain Health want to give you guys a scholarship for 2 of your students. And not only that, but they said we want to give 2 scholarships for your students and 2 of their caregivers.
So thrilled to be able to donate 2 10-hour training sessions to the youth that have been selected here.
I'm just thankful, like everybody else, coming from some of the backgrounds, some of the people you try to help. So it just kind of comes full circle, going through something like that, and now everyone out here is gaining something, for their future.
We see a lot of young kids who are leaving out of school during the day. We see a lot of young kids hanging out at night, and then they're just doing those petty things as criminal mischief, like vandalizing or graffiti, or you name it, the crimes, and all of it is happening with our young people.
And I actually mentor at an elementary school in Oak Cliff, the same school I went to 40 years ago. And I tell them, I'm like, look, I sat in that same seat you're sitting in. I went to this exact same school, and so I try to show them, hey, look, anything is possible. You can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it, but you have the opportunity as a mentor to really pour seeds into these kids.
For so many of us, this is our life story. So tonight resonates with me, and I know for all of us, because I think of the few people who I had early exposure to trauma, and if people were betting, there were only a couple people betting on me, right? So I'm encouraged to look out in this room and know we're all betting on all children.
So we know in the educational and medical and clinical settings, when you get an ED label, that means he's going through your pipeline, the school to prison pipeline. That's the assumption that educators and administrators will make. So we're trying to do everything we can in our piece of the world to help turn that story around.
And I don't know about y'all, and I'm not going to ask for anybody's date of birth or social security number or anything like that, but I made some decisions between the ages of 18 and 24 that I probably regret, but I'm glad that they don't stick with me for the rest of my life. And that's the fundamental concept behind AIM Court and behind a lot of these programs, where we're really trying to take a look at the root causes of the problem, address those in the hopes that by addressing those that we can end this revolving door that is prison.
They think that they're not as smart or they can't do as much. But really, to me, the people who have been in prison have the most resources because they know how to have resources. Their back is up against the wall. They know how to fly without wings. They build their own wings.
I want to leave you with this quote by Dr. King. He says, "Power without love is reckless and abusive. And love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power connecting all things that stand against love."